Welcome into the halfway house, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good morning.
All right. Tonight on the halfway house, we are talking.
Dave still hasn't
tailgating.
recovered from his trip, huh, Dave?
Yeah.
No. Okay,
Still
cool.
recovering.
No. Still recovering.
We are talking tailgating tonight. So tonight's topic is what are the essentials? What is the best way tailgating with college football season in full swing, with tomorrow being the Penn State versus Ohio State game. France is your answer, Dave.
Yes.
So with that, Dave, I will start with you. From a tailgating standpoint, what are some of the essentials that you think make a good tailgate, or what makes tailgating so much fun?
Beer.
It's a good answer, Dave.
Yep.
It's a good answer. I mean, but Dave, let me ask you this.
I don't see many craft cocktails coming out at a tailgate party, though I'm very apt to start my morning with a Bloody Mary now. And tailgating, State College, we've been there lining up on, we've seen people lining up on a Tuesday or a Wednesday of the week before to get into the game. But I think a good tailgating, setup starts with the simple things. Some good beer, some good burgers, some good hot dogs, and some brats. You could go elaborate and everything else, but I think those are
Simple,
your essentials right there.
Okay. Steve, what do you think? When you have a good tailgate, what do you think for that?
I'm going to say it this way. I feel like a tailgate is the redneck version of a party. A good party at your house. So it's got to be canned beer. You can't go high end. You can't drink Sam Adams. You can't drink that fancy stuff like I like to drink. You got to go canned beer. I'm with Dave on the burgers, hot dogs, brats idea. But I also think you got to do something themed around the event that you're tailgating at. So I've tailgated. You will laugh at this. I tailgated a Penn State game. It's Penn State LSU at the Citrus Bowl.
Well, I thought you were going to say a Taylor Swift concert there for a second.
No. She hasn't done this. She hasn't done the Citrus Bowl. And we had somebody ordered in, is it Stickies?
Yes.
Penn State? They ordered in Stickies from Penn. They ordered in Stickies from Penn State. So I feel like for a really good tailgate, you have to, even if it's a road game, you got to theme your tailgate around the team that you're rooting for.
100%. I agree. I think the thing about a tailgate that makes tailgating so much fun, for me, besides the foods, there's always the staples there. Finding a good food that fits the tailgate. Like my dad and I went to a Rutgers football game, and we got subs in Jersey. Like a good Jersey sub is what we got. Not Jersey Mike's, just a good Jersey sub. Mm-hmm. And we had that for the tailgate. But I think the biggest thing about the tailgate is the camaraderie. Is going around to other different tailgates, sharing stuff. Yeah. Hey, I got this food, trading stuff. I mean, I've been to tailgates where you run out of charcoal and you go and trade beer for charcoal because you got enough beer. You don't run out of that. Yeah. So
I think one of the most important parts of tailgating, and I learned this lesson the hard way in New York, is understanding rules of the tailgate and consumption of said beverages. I had a nice run-in with some of New York City's finest in the parking lot of Citi Field for the Mets, and myself and a couple buddies from Pennsylvania were cited for open containers in the parking lot because we missed the sign saying we had to pour it into a red cup. So we're just standing back there tailgating, drinking our Yingling right out of our cans, and some of New York City's finest wrote me a nice $75 ticket for drinking in public.
So let me ask you this, because this is what I think when I think tailgating. I think tailgating is football. I don't think tailgating is to baseball. I don't think it's not basketball. I'll tell you that
No.
much. But when I
No.
think tailgating, I think football. So like,
Yeah.
do you tailgate to other events? Because I only tailgate at football events.
Well, we were only drinking beer in the parking lot.
So does that count as tailgating, or is that just
No, it
getting
counts as
drunk in the
drinking
parking
beer.
lot
Well,
for like
I
beer
don't know.
league softball?
We were in a tailgate, and there was
Okay.
people around us cooking and everything else. But yes, I think football when I think tailgating, as well too. And I think you have your people, and I've seen it. I've worked in this profession as well too, that have the whole rigs, the RVs, and everything that come. Um, More power to those people, that do it, and make it a mission to have that entertainment facility that they basically bring with them for a tailgate. Um, you could go low budget. Greg, I think you and I ended up with a $15 Walmart camp stove at one
Yeah,
point in
we
time,
did
and
at
a
the
bag of
Citrus Bowl
charcoal
at Penn
at the
State versus
Citrus
Auburn.
Bowl.
Same.
And you could do it for under $50, or you could do it for 50,000.
I think you have fun with it. I think that's the key, is that you're there to have fun with it.
Yeah.
You're there, and it's good, that rivalry in sports. Like, it doesn't always have to be. You want to be with like your fellow team or alum, like, that you want to be with, but also having those other fans around makes it fun.
I got a couple other places you can tailgate outside of a concert.
I have done that to a Dave Matthews
Yes.
concert.
Yes, I mean and that's almost a necessity for some shows.
Yeah.
Country shows especially, like, that's a great tailgate. I've done it so we were camping and tailgated at our campsite for an OAR show in St. Augustine one time. That was a good time. And
Does
then
that
another
count as
one.
a tailgate if you're doing it at your campsite though? Before I
just
know where you're
pre-gaming,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pre-gaming.
You got to be in the parking lot of the venue that you're at.
But you can
tailgating.
walk from the camp, like it's a shorter walk than it is walking in.
But you were at your campsite. The
you're
St.
pre-gaming at
Augustine
that point.
OAR doesn't count.
And then another one that you can always tailgate at is any NASCAR race.
I feel that that's just par for the course. You're just there. I don't think it counts as tailgating. I think that's just drinking all the way through, considering you can bring your beer inside to a NASCAR race.
You can.
Inside.
You can definitely bring a cooler in, yes. And that is you can bring beer and food in. Like, they do not care at NASCAR, and it is great.
But you don't see tailgating. You see tailgating maybe happen at Waste Management, but you don't see it happening at golf.
No. Indy 500,
because you're
tailgate.
missing out. You're missing out on the golf.
Yeah. And that's the difference, I think. Like, in most Major League Baseball stadiums, like, you're not tailgating there. You might a little bit. And I've seen some, but it doesn't have that same atmosphere like a football game. Like, you're getting ready the whole day, and it's just fun. Like, I've seen rigs that people have the TVs in the back of their cars. Like, and this is before the days of generators and stuff that were as portable. Like, you'd have those rigs set up and have a satellite dish out there.
So, speaking of, things like that, we've, your food, tailgate games.
Oh, yeah.
Do you need games to make a good tailgate?
To make a good tailgate? No. To make a great tailgate? Yes. I think you need to have a football. You got to throw around a football. You got to do something like that. That's the base. Like, just have a football you can toss around and have fun with. I think that cornhole. I think cornhole's a good one.
Bags.
It's same difference. It's also, what's the one where you toss like the 3 levels and you toss
ladder,
like that one?
Ladder, yeah.
I think that's a good game. There's been some interesting ones out there. I like it's the combination between cornhole, chipping contest, and beer pong. Like,
yes,
that game I think is an interesting one to have out there too.
Greg, I think you and I at one point in time owned a portable beer pong table.
I don't know how portable that thing was. Well, I still own I have a tailgate table that I have, but that's the.
Well, no, we had the Penn State. We had the Penn State one.
Yeah, I have the Penn State football field that I've used as a table, and then you use it for games afterwards. Like, you have that stuff, but that's the fun thing about it. Like, it's that community that you create before the game, and then you just take that energy into the game. That's the fun part about tailgating. It's creating that energy and atmosphere and bringing it into the game.
Okay, what's the best tailgate? What's the best tailgate you guys have done?
I'd have to say, hands down, if you go tailgating at State College of Pennsylvania, like at Penn State, like there's nothing like that. That's just fields and fields of people tailgating there for the game. You have almost 110,000 people that are going into the stadium that are tailgating before the game. It is just that atmosphere is a lot of fun.
I've showed up there with no plans of doing my own tailgate and just
enjoying
and just joining other people's tailgates. I think, for me, living here in Iowa right now, and nothing against, Iowa State over there at the other side. I think the Iowa Hawkeyes right now throw probably the second best tailgate in all of college, football right now. And they're way down below Penn State. And we'll just put it out there as that one. But I think Big Ten schools as a whole, outside of the world's largest drinking game between Florida and
Georgia. Been there, done that. Been there, done that.
And I think
bowl game there and done it.
Yeah, and I think each conference, especially collegiate, brings some. What you're going to see for an SEC tailgate is in a completely different from what you're going to see from a Big Ten tailgate.
Well, and even I feel like SEC and Southern schools have that. They have that fancier kind of tailgate that they're going to, but they also
they're going to do a crawfish boil.
Toddy.
Oh yeah, they're going to do. And they have great tailgates as well. And I'll compare, like, I used to tailgate at Giants Stadium and go to Giants game with friends, and that's fun. That's tailgating, NFL tailgating. I mean, you have the Bills Mafia that take tailgating to a different level and jumping through tables and being psychopaths. But like I said, it's the same. College, you have that camaraderie and alumni and everything kind of melting together that you miss in the NFL, I think. You have fun in the NFL, but you miss that hometown feel that you get in a college game.
How many people does it take to make solo tailgating isn't exactly you can do it, but what is an ideal number for you for a proper tailgate party?
For a party, I think if you got two people, you got a tailgate. I think you got two people, you're going to the game, you do that because you're going to meet up with people, like you're going to park next to people, and you're going to have fun. But I think if you're properly going to do it, you fill your car. You got 4 to 5 people in a car that you're tailgating out of, and I think that's a proper tailgate. And that's you got a good group going to the game at that point.
So let me ask you this. I've been to a tailgate that didn't involve any vehicles at it, but it was the best tailgate I've ever been to.
Did it have tractors?
No tractors either. It was in a parking garage.
Where was explain and just get to the point.
Yeah.
If Bradley's watching this show, we're going to get a comment that says drink. I'm just warning you all up front, okay, with this story. The NFL tailgate party that they throw for the Super Bowl that they did at the Superdome in New Orleans. They carpeted the parking garage.
No. Now this is that is a pregame party once again.
Yeah,
free food and alcohol with concerts involved.
That's not thrown by the NFL. That's not the definition of tailgate.
They had caviar in the queso.
Not a tailgate.
Not a tailgate.
Okay.
No,
not a tailgate.
Not a tailgate.
Because it takes place in a park. Like I'll use the same thing when I went to the Stanley Cup finals in Tampa for the Lightning versus the Blackhawks. Like they had a whole party like that too. There, that's a pregame party, and
that's a pregame party. You can call it a tailgate all you want, but when you have celebrity chefs showing up that isn't Guy Fieri doing it in the Raiders parking lot, and you have celebrity chefs showing up to cook and everything else like that you have to either pay an admission to get into the parking lot or be a guest and invited.
It was invite only. Yeah, it was invite only.
You were invite only. That is not a tailgate.
Like we said, a tailgate is where you're just meeting people. You're inviting people over. You're like, oh, we got some stuff here. Like that's a good time. I mean, I've tailgated for Tampa Bay Bucks games down there, and that's been a fun time down there. They put on a good tailgate there. I've been there for both college and the NFL. I've been there for the Outback Bowl, and I've been there for Bucks games, and both are good times. Like they put on a good tailgate there. It's what the fans make of it, and I think football really draws to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you tailgate so much that you don't go into you're just there to tailgate and not go to the game?
I have done that. I have gone to a game, not had tickets, and tailgated, and either tried to get it from a scalper or just enjoy the tailgate and listen to the game from the outside. I think you can do that. I think that's.
I did that for the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Florida, Georgia.
Yeah.
And again, that one's worth it. Like, you're there for the party.
Yeah.
So that's a party that can have the fancy stuff that you talked about for your Super Bowl party, but that's not planned by the NFL or a catering company. It's that the fans are bringing that fancy stuff there for that outdoor cocktail party, because that is a party there. And tailgating at that arena is cool.
Yeah. So we've gone down this road of, that you never make it into the stadium and you're just in a tailgate the entire time. What is the appropriate amount of time to leave the tailgate and get into the stadium for the event?
I think you got to be in for the national anthem.
Yes.
Like, you got to make it in for the national anthem.
Because if there's a flyover, you want to be in your seat for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the time. I think you can wait. You can do it. But now, if you don't have tickets, and you get tickets, then you might be waiting. That's a little bit different of a scenario. But I do think, like, you have to have time to pack up too, and like put stuff away, and because people will loot your stuff in any parking lot that you're at,
especially if you have a charcoal grill.
Yeah, didn't we lose that? We did lose that.
Yes, we did.
What? So speaking of charcoal grills, what's what are tailgate necessities?
A grill and food and beer.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the cooler you can get, those styrofoam coolers at the grocery store, and the beer at the same time with the ice. Do it right there. Dump it all in. Yep. You don't need your Yeti cooler or anything like that.
No.
Just be prepared that way, and I think you're good to go from there.
Now, and I think as I've gotten older a little bit here, I think for me, if I were to do it now, I would look at some of the rig setups that we've seen, and show up maybe a day or so early. The people that bring the smokers with them and the big grills, and just make it a full-on party right there. And you go big and opulent, for the whole thing, if you're going to do it right, especially for a big game, rivalry game, something like that, where you want to have the party come to you. Bring the guns.
I think the big thing that you have to do.
We just used the word opulent on this.
Yeah, we did.
We used the word opulent on this.
We did. We're getting fancy. Like an SEC tailgate.
And it came out of my mouth.
It did.
Applebee's on a date night. Like, I feel like that's where we're at right now.
Well, I think that one of the fun things that people that really prep for their tailgate, that like they're going, and like I went with a friend one time. His mom, this was a Giants game. They prepped all the food, and like she made that hamburger patty. She didn't just buy frozen hamburger patties, like made them. They had chopped onion inside and cheese, and they were unbelievable. Like, putting that effort into it makes it that much better. I think when like you said, like you get something that's a staple for that area, but you're not just like buying frozen hot dogs, frozen burgers, and just throwing them on the grill. If you're putting the time in, I think that makes it so much better, and it makes it that much more fun.
Yes.
Now, what do you consider, like, what kind of chips do you need on this? Do you need chips, pretzels?
I think you need some kind of snack. You need some kind of like just food that you can like pick at. Like, so I like having like just a regular chip and maybe a pretzel, something like that you can grab, that you might not need a dip for. Like, so salsa and chips, nice to have if you're going to do it. But I like something I can just grab and I don't have to like dip and keep going back for. Like, I can just grab it as I'm walking by and having fun. So, but I think you need something like that too.
Yeah.
And I know, Dave, I know your answer to this, and Steve, I probably know your answer to this. What's your go-to beverage? And I mean brand, like that if I'm going to get one thing for this tailgate, what am I getting? Steve?
What?
I'm going to go crummy light beer
Okay.
in a can. And the only reason being is that you can drink that all day and not get stupid.
Okay. So you want that beer that's not going to be too heavy, not going to be too much alcohol content that you're going to be
Right.
3 sheets to the wind. So all right. So
Right. Yeah.
Dave, is yours what I think it is?
Same as yours.
Gotta have that Yingling. Gotta have that
Gotta
Yingling.
have the Yingling.
No, see, I'm going with the idea of the long haul versus the
They
short.
make many different versions of Yingling, but when you've drank Yingling
when you've
long
drank
enough,
Yingling,
it's just like drinking anything else.
And here in Iowa, it's the Busch Latte.
Yeah.
Right now, that's just the way it is. And when you grow up drinking it and it goes down like water, 3 sheets to the wind really doesn't matter when you have a beer of choice.
I will tell you this past weekend, I was at the UCF game, and we were in the Alumni Center on the way into the game, and I had Yingling Flight.
Yingling Flight is good.
Yeah,
it's not terrible, and it falls into that.
It does.
Yingling
Flight, you can,
yeah,
you can put down like water.
Yeah.
It's a good, refreshing, crisp beer. I think that does. If I was doing something and I wanted to go your light route, Steve, I would go Yingling Flight because I think that would be easier on that long haul. So, all right. With that, Halfway House, thanks for watching. Tell us in the comments what your favorite tailgating essentials are, what your favorite tailgating memories are as well. We want to hear those. If you haven't already, check out our other channel, our other show, the Golfing Dads Tavern. We have a great giveaway going on right now, so check that out as well on our Instagram page. And thanks for watching.
Cheers, y'all.
Peace.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, having the opportunity to build something that's
Viral on our TikTok that somebody was commenting about playing Whistling Straits on 700